It doesn't matter how small your work is or whether you see fruit or not. You can leave it in the hands of God, that He'll bring some good out of it. Sometimes we're just not meant to see the good we do. We just have to do it, no matter how simple, no matter how humdrum, and leave it to God. And we can be sure in His hands, He'll multiply it. It's kind of like a butterfly effect. The butterfly beats its wings in Beijing, and revolutions occur continents away. That's how it is in God's kingdom. There's another story I heard in the aftermath of the Beijing Olympics. A house church leader was warned that he should not hold his house church over the time of the Olympics. He defied them, he defied the authorities, he went ahead with his church. And one day he was arrested and he was taken away to a province far away. He was put into a cell and 2 policemen beat him almost to death. And he woke up and he found himself in a large white room. And he thought, oh, I've died and gone to heaven. But then he noticed at the bottom of his bed were the 2 policemen that had beaten him. And he thought, well, no, I can't be in heaven. And yet, to his surprise, they began to apologize to him. Sorry that we did that to you. We do apologize. And he said, well, why are you apologizing to me? They said, better ask him. And this man came into the room, man in his 50s. And he introduced himself. He said, I'm the inspector of prisons for this province. I heard what was happening to you, and I've stopped it. And I want to apologize to you. Christians are okay with me. The house church leader was really surprised at this, and he managed to say, well, why do you say that? Why did you intervene on my behalf? And he said, well, years ago, many, many years ago, I was visiting the UK on a study program. And he said, nobody really wanted to know me. I was very lonely. One day, he decided to go to church. He wanted to see the inside of a church and see what Christians did and said. So he went along, and a very elderly couple there invited him out for dinner. And so he went along, and each time he came to the church, they had him out to their house, and they fed him a beautiful meal, and he said, they treated me like a king. He said, they prayed for me, they loved me, they gave me a Bible. He said, I'm not a Christian. But he said, they were so kind, and they were so gracious, that I was very impressed. And he said, although I don't believe, he said, I realize that if Christians are like that old couple, what has China to fear? What has China to fear from people like that? This Beijing house church leader was telling me about it, and he said, you know, it gives me such a perspective on God, because this man intervened to save me, even though it was the result of a simple act of hospitality shown by a Christian couple in Manchester years ago, in another time, on another continent. And yet, it saved me from certain death by beating. How a simple act of hospitality shown to a stranger, and yet it saves the life of a Christian leader years after those who showed the act of hospitality were long gone. Anything we do, no matter how small, how simple, can have a major effect because it's offered into the hands of God, and there it gets multiplied to become a far greater blessing than we can ever know.